Yo, 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 YouTube. How you guys doing? Happy weekend. Proverbs here from One End Gaming. Those of you who might know me as Pat. Anyway, we have a league play, Capture the Flag, 4v4 on standoff, gameplay and commentary today. But I actually want to spend some time talking about March Madness and the Final Four, which is played tonight. For those of you who may not follow college basketball, it is Wichita State versus Louisville is the early game, and Syracuse versus Michigan, which is the later game. And I have some predictions. I mean, they're not too off the wall. I think we are going to have a championship of Louisville versus Syracuse. I think, although Michigan's a decent team, I mean, Louisville coming off the Ware injury, I can't see Wichita being able to match their energy. And I got to go with Boeheim. Boeheim is a boss. He's a fucking G. So, I'll take Louisville and I'll take Syracuse, and I will take Louisville to win it all. I couldn't take, as much as I like Syracuse, I'm not really like that large of a fan, but I am a Boeheim fan, and I believe in what he does, but after seeing that game earlier in the season, that trap Louisville had going against Syracuse, they just could not move the basketball at all. So I will take Louisville to win it all. And, I mean, I know that's not that far off the wall. I'm sure a lot of people had Louisville to win it all from the start. So, that being said, March Madness out of the way, I want to talk about classes that will give you a competitive advantage playing at a higher level than public matches. And also some of the COD championships, which I watched yesterday via Twitch. Some of the teams there certainly belong to be there. Some of them certainly don't. So anyway, in this gameplay that you're watching right now, this was kind of a duo. It was just Jay and I. And we were lucky enough to get two kids on our team who weren't drooling on themselves while trying to play and actually had hands and understood the idea behind how do you win a game of Capture the Flag. And, so first I want to start with my setup. I'm just using AN94 Quick Draw Stock Fast Mag. And I believe my perks are Flak Jacket, Toughness, and I want to say Tac Mask or Dexterity, one or the other. And then, of course, I have a Cap 40 secondary because it's arguably the best gun in the game at any kind of medium to short range. I don't think even the Scorpion stands up to it at this point. I'm not sure if they're going to leave it like that, but if you guys haven't tried out the Cap 40, especially at a more intense level of gameplay, such as League, coming around corners with a Cap 40, your opponent just doesn't stand much of a chance. So, that's my setup. The gameplay is nothing spectacular, nothing over the top. I think I end up going 18-8. They start with a full team, but they certainly don't end with a full team once they start getting absolutely destroyed. But, so that setup is, for someone who prefers ARs over SMGs, it's hard to make an argument that there's a better setup to run on an AN. I mean, I know some people like red dot sights, but I mean, I think the iron sights on that gun are almost what makes it, unstoppable. The fact that there is no need for a sight to take up one of your attachment slots is, to me, such a huge selling point because I've always preferred iron sights throughout my Call of Duty gaming career. But, so, talking about the gameplay would be nice if it were anything over-the-top special. But I do want to talk about social media and how a push into social media can really get you noticed. And, so I signed up for the tech game, TTG, earlier this morning. And I really love how it's set up. I love the freeform forums. I love your user profile. I love everything about it, and I'm really looking forward to meeting new people, new audiences, new people to play with. I've already gotten a message from someone asking if they can try out for 1N. I said, obviously I haven't heard back from him yet. I asked him what console he played on, and if he would call himself a competitive player more so than a pub star or someone who just hangs out in public matches and beats up on kids. So that was about 30 minutes ago. I signed up within 3 minutes. I had a new subscriber. I had someone, wanting to try out for the clan. And that is huge because that revamps my motivation and energy to really reach out and dig deep and gain further exposure. So yeah, I think that has great potential, and I look forward to spending most of my weekend on that site just going through forums. I actually just enjoy reading what other people have to say about Black Ops 2, the future of Call of Duty, the COD championships, who they think is going to win. Do the European teams have a chance against the American teams? I don't necessarily think so, but then again, because of exposure, I haven't really seen many of the European teams play as a team. I've seen individual players from Epsilon and Freako Dragon and all those teams. But yeah, so tuning in was really fun yesterday. I had more fun watching it than playing because I was just having another bad day. Continuing to hide out in the doldrums, the shadow of the kids I play with. Thank God that they can carry whenever they need to. So, yeah, so signing up for the tech game is huge, and trying to gain exposure, being able to post, basically just an open-feeded forum with whatever you want, and really generating some interest in like what we do on this channel and what we do as a team, and obviously we have a lot of fun, but we play competitively and sometimes things aren't always fun. I dropped, I think, 3 games straight in league play yesterday. The kids are good. They're good players, and it really just depends on, like in this video, just playing with Jay. It's tough because you can bring a third in for solo standings. You just can't have a full team locked in. Then your team would be ranked. So you can play 3 out of 4 slots you can fill with yourself and 2 other kids. But the problem is when you're playing just twos, you actually get put into games against full teams of 4. So there's only so much 2 people can do regardless of how good they are against a team of 4 that have played that game mode, that map, as a squad of 4 competitively before. I can't tell you how many times yesterday I got called out by kids. It was just insane. People know exactly precisely where you are when you're playing a team of 4, because even if you do manage to get a 2-piece even, the other 2 kids on that team already know where you are, regardless if you're using a silenced weapon or not, solely because they're communicating. And, it's not like public matches where people are just about their own business. It's almost like mercenary. You just hop into a public match and play by yourself. There's no communication, unless you're lucky enough or fortunate enough to end up on a team with kids who know the game mode in and out of whatever you choose to play. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm going to spend my my weekend on some of these forum sites and gaming networks and really reach out to people. If you want to try out for 1N, that's fine. You can send me a personal message via YouTube or TTG, or you can tweet me. Check us out on Facebook. That's fine. If you want me to look at your site and give you constructive criticism, I would also be willing to do that, because like I said, I just enjoy being around, working with video, gameplay, talent. Anyone who has a question or comments, constructive criticisms for me, or requests, please feel free to just reach out. The only way I can possibly address any criticisms, concerns, or requests is if I know that they exist. So yeah, I think that the way of the future is obviously for people trying to gain traction and trying to gain exposure, or following, whatever you might call it, it has to be social media. You have to direct people to what you want them to see. So what I like about TTG is the ability to post your favorite YouTube video. Well, I mean, obviously it's one of my own. Our videos are incredibly well done. They're the highest quality YouTube will support. The editing, I think, you know, with the inlays and whatnot, is pretty much over the top awesome too. So I'm going to be playing League most of the day, probably until these basketball games start. Like I said, Louisville over Wichita, Syracuse over Michigan. Let's see how I do. I'm sure 9/10 of the universe out there has the same exact picks. But anyway, till next time, YouTube. For anything and everything One Nation Gaming, keep it tuned right here, and I'll see you tomorrow for the daily vid. Take it easy.